We have some new toys to play with, ladies and gentlemen, not the least of which is me finally deciding to stop being a stick in the mud and check out Harris Heller's Stream Beats project. Well, there's a neck pillow still doing there. Nah, who cares? What is up, everybody? This is Jay, aka MultimediaJay, coming back to Twitch with a discussion still outstanding from earlier, but we're going to put all of that aside because I stumbled across something this afternoon that's going to go very well with the kinds of numbers that I keep an eye on. We're going to fire up Excel, we're going to get everything going, and it's going to be one heck of a show tonight because I have some stuff to add to the cruncher for Streamlabs data. It is not the Q4 2020 report that I'm waiting for. The Stream Hatchet one just came out last week, and I actually went and took the stream on YouTube. It finished processing and has been sitting for a while, so that's gone public with some edits in the works to cut down some of the quiet space at the beginning of the stream so it gets more quickly into it. All this YouTube streaming thing, trying to figure it out and stuff like that. Twitch has things that are a little bit simpler in respect to that. But I wanted to say a couple of words regarding some stuff from going all the way back. We're going to check the numbers and see just how long these problems have been going on before 2020, because the Streamlabs new zoo Q4 year in review from January of 2020, about a year ago, has a lot of the numbers I keep an eye on going all the way back to 2018. I've been looking for historical information to plug into the Streamlabs cruncher that I'm keeping, and I'm just going to call it the Streamlabs cruncher because these numbers are often often Streamlabs teaming up with someone else like Stream Hatchet, and in this case New Zoo, and so the data is kind of matched up to each other in that respect. But the big one that I don't have is hours streamed. I am thinking, though, again, numbers are never as valuable as what's in them. I'm wondering about some of these numbers, though. Some of these numbers for streaming. Are these hours streamed numbers pulled using who's using Streamlabs, or is it a more general thing for everybody who's out there streaming? That's the question I have. I'll just leave that for now. What we're going to do, if you're going to look at numbers, you want to keep your methodology consistent. So we're going to apply the hours streamed versus hours watched ratio as far back as the historical stuff will take us. Now, that's not without some new toys to play with here. Stream Beats, getting my stream somethings mixed up. Stream Beats Synthwave, Harris Heller's pet project. I'm also looking forward to the rock stuff that he's getting ready to work on as well. I think what I'm going to like is, in terms of Stream Beats, is the stuff that sounds closer to what sounds like taking up a style and whatnot. One of the things, too, is this streamer aesthetic with the multiple colors of lighting and stuff. They say what's old is new again. It has very much an 80s vibe to it. And over on my Twitter at twitter.com/MultimediaJay, I've been posting stuff like the Tronic Box parody of the Tronic Box 80s redo of somebody that I used to know. So let's get some of this stuff going here. You know, there's enough parallels. Something like this. How about we start with something that... Hazel's comment. There we go. All right. Let's see how much of Excel still works from my setup. I set everything up for the Jay Silverton name, so we should be good to go with Excel to open up the Streamlabs cruncher. Just make sure, yeah, Jay Silverton, the old logo's still there and everything. Could change if I really wanted to. I could actually change that up. We're going to open up the Streamlabs cruncher, which I've renamed. And we're going to plug in some numbers. Not PowerPoint. I'm so used to going into PowerPoint. MultimediaJay. Streamlabs Quarterly's Cruncher. Enable all links. And let's get this sucker on the screen, because we're going to be adding more data into the mix. How much of the Excel template still works? Yeah, there we go. Now let's just go up into the corner here. Take the other corner and put the music underneath. Yep, just like we're going to do this with PowerPoint again later on as well. There we go. See what that looks like on the big screen. The big screen that, for now, still works. All right, let's do this. So, what we have here is what I keep an eye on every quarter, when the Streamlabs quarterlies come out. So we have Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Mixer, when it was still functional, and uBook, which represents the competition that doesn't have the exclusivity clause tied to the service. Now, it's important to note that Facebook has a soft exclusivity focus with its music license, in the sense that the commercial music you play in your streams on Facebook will cause problems elsewhere. And YouTube, I recently discussed earlier today on the YouTube stream, YouTube actually has a soft lock on content through the YouTube audio library because they will only guarantee rights to use music on YouTube. They don't really get involved elsewhere. So if you use YTAL tracks anywhere else, then who knows? So I think some people might actually, some bad actors out there might actually take advantage of it. But anyways, we're going to get this report on screen. Let's see, where is, that is not it. The new zoo, I've got it open in Avast Secure. Let's bring this up here. Actually, let's link a browser for this one. Let me just show you the report in general. Link is on my Twitter, by the way. Plus, we got to fix everything up. Let's see. Nope. Nope. Put everything where it's supposed to go. The alerts might have to be moved if I'm in this corner. Probably going to get covered up by my own alerts. Yup. Yeah, we'll have to fix that. Maybe put them in the lower right or something. All right, let's get this linked up. Sources. Hook up this browser here. Avast Secure. Link this to the new zoo report. There it is. This is from a year ago. But what I really find interesting here is, so here's your hours watched by platform, and then here's the hours streamed. Look at the differences in the bars. Most streamed games, total publishers watched. There's a couple of statistics that you see in the earlier versions of this that focus on people, like average concurrence and average unique streamers and whatnot. But here we go. Twitch, totals hours watched since Q1 of 2018, and it's in the millions. So we can punch all those in, and then there's total hours streamed. We can add all of this historical data and put this all in the spreadsheet and have a blast with this. And I also have YouTube and Mixer and some others as well. So let's populate more quarters, and let's take a look at the results the same way that we would otherwise. There we go. All right, so let's see here. Let's put this off to the side. I wish I could do always on top for this. Well, I can crunch it down to half a screen and do things this way, but I'd rather have this full screen. There we go. I'd rather have this full screen, so what we'll do then is we'll just cover up OBS with the report and make the numbers nice and big. Or, how about we do like it's YouTube streaming, put the report on one half of the screen and OBS on the other. And then we just zoom in on it that way. And just keep an eye on the preview and everything, so we make sure you're not covering up key data or something. Alright, total hours watched. So, okay, so we're going to be doing Twitch first, so we might as well just limit everything to Twitch. Alright, get everything down to just Twitch. Alright, ready? Alright, let's do, this goes back to Q1 2018, so we'll do Q1 2018, Q2 2018, yep, Q3 2018, Q4 2018, Q1 2019, Q2 2019, Q3 2019, and Q4 2019. And then we'll just, these are all going to be for Twitch. So we'll just do Twitch, all the way down. Let's get all this punched in. Let's get all this punched in from the graph. So under hours watched, let's balloon this sucker. Alright, we don't need Twitter open for this. I want to see all those numbers nice and big. Alright, let's get this filled in. Hours watched in the millions, down by quarter. For Q1 2018, 1999.5, and we can really see Twitch's progress as they've grown as a service through this sort of thing. But the problem is the growth for hours watched also is accompanied by growth in hours streamed, as more people want to be streamers, so it doesn't mean that, which ultimately leads to the ratios that we have issues with, and we'll see those populate the minute we get these punched in. 1999.5, 2103.7. For Q3 2018 is 2283.9. Q4 was 2333.1. And you consider everything ballooned in 2020, so to start Q1 with 3,000 makes all the sense when it comes to the numbers. 2019 Q1, 2477.9. Q2, 2439.7. Q3, 2551.4. And Q4, 2299.6. Everything's in millions. All right, let's go to hours streamed. Total hours streamed. So you figure you start out Q1 2020 at 120. So numbers approaching 100 in terms of the millions is probably good with this. But the point of all this is to add a historical record so we can see just how Twitch has developed and what has happened to this ratio of hours streamed versus hours watched. Check levels on everything. Yeah, it's showed up in the mixers correctly. I just have it nice and loud in the headphones. I have a bit of a partiality towards the 80s. A decade that didn't take itself too seriously sometimes. Hey, you know. Plus, I'm a nerd, so a lot of synthesizers is my cup of tea. Q1 2018, 65.3. 65.3. Q2, 74.9. Q3, 84.2. Q4, 86. Into 2019, 100.2. And we're approaching the 121, of course. 89.6. 87.3. And then 82.7. So we can see, starting in 2018, 30, 28, 27, 24, 27, 29, 27, 25, 26, and the latest was 23. So, as Twitch has grown, the growth as a platform has not kept up with the growth, the growth in terms of streamers has stayed too close to the growth in terms of overall. This is what I talk about when I say Twitch has a bit of a problem with not being the right size to properly support people who want to be streamers, because the audience, there just isn't enough watch hours available for the audience in order for this to really be a thing. So you figure you've gone from 30 down to 23, and YouTube has been smoking the heck out of everything out of all of this. That would be one reason why I stream on both platforms and bounce between them. Still observing, of course, the 24-hour rule for Twitch affiliate, but at the same time, the stuffy exclusivity restricts the kind of content I do over here. It's the same thing too, you know. When I go over the numbers for Q4, that's going to be on YouTube. It's the historical stuff that I'm doing here that's not as time sensitive. Let's move on to the YouTube charts. So we've gone over the Twitch hours. They also go into unique channels, average concurrence, average views, but I don't want average stacked upon averages. So here's a note. For the YouTube stuff in 2018, it was limited to the top 100 channels per game at any given time. Things got better in 2019. So, just something to keep in mind with the numbers. Alrighty then. Alright, let's see here. Switch off to YouTube. Switch off to YouTube. We can probably add uBook in there as well. Actually, you know what? Let's just show everything. There we go. We'll punch all these in. Q1 2018, Well, actually, what if I... No. This is raw data. So, this is raw data, so I wouldn't want to sort this anyways. This is just re-enter it. If you want to show raw data as it is, then we might as well have an output table that we can sort to, which is probably something that I'll add in, which is something I'll add in a little later on. All right, let's look at YouTube's historical data, which does not actually start until 2019 because of those reporting restrictions. So remove 2018 for YouTube. Remove 2018 for YouTube, and let's just start them off with Q1 of 2019. So, total hours watched, and if we restrict this to just YouTube, we can get a historical context of what it is we're looking at here. So by the beginning of Q1 2020, they're at 1,076. Looks like from these numbers, they had a big jump in Q4 of 2019. So let's see. So Q1 2019, 622.4, 677.2, then 675.9, and a 909.1. Big jump in Q4 of 2019. What does that look like in terms of hours streamed? YouTube, hours streamed, and this is again YouTube gaming. YouTube streaming in general can cover all kinds of stuff that's not related to personality streamers. I seriously think that if those numbers were ever sent around, we'd see YouTube as the biggest streaming platform, just because it's general purpose and not niche. The average daily traffic reflects that as well. Check in on chat here. Anything showing up? Don't want someone to be spamming me while I'm busy keying in numbers. All right. Q1 2019 for hours streamed is 12.2, 51, 12.6, 53, 11.1, 60, and then 12.3 is 73. Now the ratio has been, so what we have here is a situation where YouTube is bringing in the audience versus how much they're growing as a streaming platform. So start out 51, 53 at 2019 when the data starts becoming more consistent. 51 something, 51, 53, 60, 73, 75, 88, and 134 in Q3 after the last set of data. So YouTube as a platform has been growing in a way that is friendlier to streamers, but the problem is that streaming works differently on YouTube. It's more of an extension of what you do when you make videos. So I'm getting regular concurrence on my streams on YouTube a lot more than I'm getting them on Twitch. Part of that is just the difference in the algorithms that are in play there. If the algorithms think that certain people who watch your stream enough are interested in your content, they're going to try and pass more of it along. It's part of the discovery system that exists on YouTube. I've even noticed that it's not like the hierarchy on Twitch, where it's always about number of concurrents. Earlier in the day, I mentioned that the Brownville Food Pantry for Deer is the hardest name in the world to remember to pronounce correctly. But let me just go check and see if that's still the case. See, if I go to my YouTube channel, let's do mute. I was watching some firearms videos earlier about people are wondering about what the new Biden administration is going to do to gun rights. So, the Brownville's Food Pantry for Deer, the trough view camera showing a bunch of deer eating out of troughs. This guy's been doing this up in Maine for years to help support the local wildlife populations. 424 concurrents in the middle of the night, our time, Eastern, US East. 424 concurrents, roughly the size of a moderately sized partner, I think, on Twitch. Maybe an affiliate. Some big affiliates get that big. Kyungi was certainly in that territory before she got partnered. So, what is this one? This is, I'm new. Spectre. This kind of reminds me of Blinded by the Light. But the notes are different. Well, it's synthwave, so I suppose it counts. Yep. Anyways, Brownville's Food Pantry for Deer. 424 concurrents right now watching a bunch of deer eat out of feeding troughs. But on my YouTube subscriptions tab under the live channels, which is smaller than on Twitch, I think YouTube should make that bigger. It is sandwiched still between ABC News and NBC News, far bigger mainstream media channels that live stream news coverage and loops and stuff. I think ABC does a loop, and NBC has something called NBC News Now. You know what's interesting? In the 2000s, I used to watch the online version of CNN. That is long since defunct. They had a lot of unique anchors on the computer version of CNN as opposed to the TV version. So it was kind of cool to see all these aspiring news reporters and whatnot on the online version of CNN. Pretty much ahead of its time. I imagine if that was still running today, then it would probably be streaming on YouTube or something, because mainstream media streams on YouTube. All right. YouTube gaming live total hours streamed. What else is in this report? We have unique channels, concurrence as well. You see here, average views per channel. Mixer. All right, here's where Mixer's problem was the opposite of YouTube. They could never attract an audience for the number of streamers they have. Mixer is actually a cautionary tale as to... Yeah. Mixer is a cautionary tale and a warning to what'll happen to Twitch if they don't do something about their current demographics problems. Paste a new set of data. Let's paste a new set of data. Nope. Let's copy over 2018, 2019. Copy. Paste in a new set of data. What? I actually hit copy again on a blank cell. How come the shortcuts have to be like right next to each other? Control C and Control V. All right. Rest in peace, Mixer. Oh man, I'm punching in new Mixer data for this thing. Should I even bother? Fortunately, there is 2 years worth of data there. Let's see here. Listen to this, what this report said back in 2020, and we should probably save this while we're at it. Ninja's move to Mixer seems to have encouraged many other streamers to start broadcasting it on the platform. Let's see here. While year-over-year growth for Mixer is still impressive, well, just, yeah, right. We'll probably shoot that down in 2 seconds. Despite the recent exclusivity deal with Shroud, the numbers are lower quarter over quarter. Old reports, baby. Total hours watched in the millions. All right, now the rubbish Mixer numbers. Mixer went into 2020 before they folded with only 81 million hours watched. Garbage compared to 28.3 streamed for a ratio of 2.8, the worst in the industry. If you wanted to stream on a platform and never see your concurrents move, or wonder if there was nothing on the platform but bots, it would be Mixer. I tried it once. It was horrible. I still have the stream too. Probably release it on YouTube at some point. Okay, Mixer, total hours watched since Q1 2018. Let's do this. 22.9, 32.4, 43.5, 62.1, 63.5. No, it's 83.5 actually. I say, why did it move up so much if the numbers 83.5, 100.9, 90.2, and 82.5. Just drop it down to just Mixer numbers. We can't put them in order because it'll screw up the cells that have formulas. We could always have this spit out to a table though. 22, 32, they peaked in Q2 of 2019, and then 90, 82, 81, then 106 before they shut down. Probably some of the hours watched was people like, oh, Mixer, they're going out of business. Hours streamed. Still more than double the number of hours watched comparing the totals. Yeah, it's just the barriers to entry to get into a content delivery network is just, ugh. And here's something interesting. You don't see a jump in the numbers until after the big deal with the exclusivity. But what that leads to is an inversion of the platform. 9.6 for Q1 2018. Oh no, it was still garbage. 9.7. 3. That's better than all the other Mixer numbers we ever had. 8.2. 5. 7.7. 8. 8 on the nose is 10. 11.3. So they were somewhat advancing until the Ninja deal and everything. Now suddenly we got a bunch of streamers, but we don't have an audience to match. 32.6. Back down to 2. 28.4. There you go. There's Mixer's history in a nutshell. They would have gone, it would have been better for them, but I think the growth would have been too slow for the people in charge. It would have been better for them if they focused on getting people to actually watch on Mixer instead of trying to become streamers. So, I guess the question is, where do you get the content from with that sort of thing? Who else is in here? Is there anybody else in this report? Facebook. Let's see, anything? Facebook gaming live streaming data was not available based on a report methodology. We're taking a close look at the trends we are seeing based off of Facebook gaming streamers using slobs. All right, so that they don't have any data for Facebook that time. All right. All right, and that's that. That's that. That was the Streamlabs New Zoo. That was the Streamlabs New Zoo report for Q4 of 2019, which came out about a year ago. And that gives us this for numbers. Now for quarterlies, we can actually select the quarters, but I think everything speaks for itself. But why don't we just do that? We could always add U-Book as well, but the problem is we didn't have any Facebook data, so it doesn't make any sense to do so. So where do I add? I could probably just shrink this down to select a quarter, right? There it is. All right, Q1 2018. So what did these numbers look like back then? So, hey, you need data? Yeah, I know how to use Power Query Excel. Thank you very much. I only did it professionally as a job for years. Load them up. I'll probably get rid of multi-stream. Maybe we should keep the multi-stream thing is manually entered. Broken references. Delete. And Mixer turned red because there's no YouTube data yet. Suppose we can have Mixer as Team Red. Twitch versus Mixer. Woo! Q1 2018. 30-2. Ooh, I wonder who's going to use Mixer. But yeah, the big thing was Mixer is a cautionary tale of what happens if you don't focus on the ability to go from nobody to somebody. Because once the exclusivity deals started flying around and you had everybody wanting to be a streamer on there, like, oh, it's a Twitch alternative, maybe I'll grow on there instead of Twitch, then it was all over. Let's load up Q2. 28-3 goes to what for 2018 second quarter, or is that it? Yeah, it's done refreshing. All right, how about we just stop talking and look at some of these numbers. Bounce back to Q1. 30-2. Remember, YouTube cannot be measured properly during this time. So the people that were playing around with the OG YouTube gaming are not properly represented in these numbers, nor can they be. 28-3. Q3. Refresh. 84-2, so 27-5. And then Q4. So we see then, this ratio has been a persistent problem with Twitch, even during their so-called growth years. So, it's easy for us who may have come in on the scene a little sooner to think that things maybe might have been better at some point in the past, but I think for that you'd have to go back to, say, 2013 or so. 27-8 for Q4 of 2018, and now Q1. Let's start off 2019, which will bring YouTube back in. Probably will screw up the colors for Mixer. Oh, okay, Mixer just turned black. All right. Yeah, so, yeah, anyways. Q1 2019, 2451 YouTube streaming, the silent winner of this in terms of ratio of hours watched versus hours streamed. But that's only because YouTube was more measurable. Q2? Is it doing its... Alright, yeah, we gotta watch, make sure the thing's counting off. Q2 2019. Didn't want to freeze the player and not give Harris Heller credit for his synthwave songs here. 27-53-8. And after the Ninja deal, I believe, is when everything crashes for Mixer. Yep. 29-60-2. And then we get to Q4. Right before I started watching this data, save, or no, refresh. 27-73-2. Save. Now let's check the watch stream ratios. There it is. Except it's not in the order I want. It's not in chronological order. Alright, well, why don't we fix that? See, select data. Q1, Q2, Q3. I think the issue here is that the data is not actually format table. Nah, I think the issue is that it's pulling off of one that's not in order yet. Excuse me. So let's swap that out. Let's do results by quarter instead, where you can select the results here. All right. So we do that. Now let's go to queries and connections. Quarterly data, results for display, 3 rows loaded. So that would be results by quarter. Can I rename that without it breaking all the links? Let's see. Results by quarter. I'm going to go into Power Query. Probably won't show up on the screen because of the way that everything is displayed. So, I do have Power Query, so I do have Power Query as a window, so I can relink it and make it visible. All right, let's go into quarterly data and let's reference it. Let's reference it, and then let's open up Power Query, take that full size. All right. If I turn on Power Query here, what happens? Oh, it still works. Cool. All right. So here's this. We just want to put everything in order. So what if we just put this in ascending order? Mixer, Twitch, da, 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 da. So it just puts everything in chronological. Nah, it's not doing it right. Cancel that. Take out the step for selected rows. So we want first, ascending order by quarter, first of all. No. So why isn't it... Ah, it's doing all the Q1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s. Son of a gun. Well, we're gonna have to do some fancy stuff here. Let's do some splitting. So how about we split the quarter? Let's see here. Split column by a delimiter, and have the delimiter be a space, and have it split at only the leftmost delimiter. So that way it splits off the quarter from the year. Good. So what we could do with this, let's rename this, so this will be year. So rename this to year and make this quarter. Power Query. Woo! All right, now we can sort by year and then quarter. So let's sort by year first, and then by quarter. By year first, then by quarter, then by platform. So we do Mixer, Twitch. We could always do platform in descending order, so Twitch is always first. I don't think it matters. I think we're just trying to come up with something. We could always go in descending order, which Twitch will always be first if we go that way. Yeah, Twitch, Mixer, Twitch, Mixer, Twitch, Mixer, YouTube, and then etc., etc. YouTube, Ubook, Twitch, and then YouTube takes over. Okay, never mind. So probably just take that out or something. Just do by platform. I don't think it really matters what, with the sorting and everything. Either way, this is largely to just populate the chart. So let's see here. We'll call this quarterly data for display. We'll call this quarterly data for display. Split column by delimiter, change types, rename, split by delimiter. So let's rename this, give it more plain English stuff. Split quarter and year. The types were changed automatically, then they were renamed and sorted. And close. That should spit out a spreadsheet, and it glitches on the screen because I just closed Power Query. We'll just shut that back off and go back out to Excel proper. So here's the quarter... No, not good enough. Back into Power Query. And let's also move this to results for display, so it's in with the results. Quarterly data, edit, go back into Power Query and turn it back on here. Because it doesn't work quite the same way as most Windows apps do. Will this look better when I take control of the screen? Nah, Power Query is very fickle because of the way the window displays in OBS. So I have to keep there. I have to keep relinking it, just like web browsers. Very, very pokey. Alright, so for sorts, just take this out then. Q1 2018 Mixer. Well, this gives us, this ID actually gives us, yeah. That's, alright. Why don't we regenerate the ID then? So let's remove that column because it looks stupid. And let's do... We could regenerate it by using a concatenation. So why don't we regenerate the ID so it has proper spacing on everything? Everything is spaced out, right? Yeah. But then how are we going to... Nah, okay. Why don't we just leave that as is? Year, quarter, platform, we can start. So you can actually, in Excel, you can actually do sorts multiple sorts using the sort tool. So you could theoretically bring back the original sorting if we just did this. So we'll just go with this instead. Watch streamed in ratio. Yeah. Close and load, which will change this up. And now we just take Power Query off the screen. All right, so now we're back to Excel here. Let's see here. What kind of a nerd is this guy playing in Excel in the middle of the night on Twitch? Excel isn't a video game, you moron. Why don't you learn how to stream? All right, ready? Okay, let's have some fun with this. Table design. Let's do blue and gray. My favorite. Let's also see if we can limit the decimal points as well. To this. Center everything. Make it look nice. Now, can I format the cells? How about we limit this to 3 decimals? So, 3 decimals. Most engineers I've worked with like that sort of thing. And there we go. So here is an actual data table that we can actually sort, filter, etc. without having to worry about entering the quarterly data. So we'll just do this. Enter quarterly data here, then quarterly data for display. Do. There it is. Mixer, Twitch, da. You can sort it, you can filter it, and it won't affect the graph. So we can set for the watch stream ratios in order for it to actually be correct. Let's set the source of this. Pivot chart options. No. How do we get the properties? Right then. There's other ways. There's better ways to clear your throat. Pivot chart options? This is the no, I'm looking for the actual data source where it comes from. I think I can change that out to this. Try double-clicking that. No, sum of the ratio. Quarter. There's got to be a way to do this. Done this before. Haven't done this in a while. Pivot chart analyze. Chart 1. Change data source. There it is. I want the data source. Use an external. Watch stream ratios. Choose connection. So instead of those watch stream ratios. Oh, it runs off the watch stream. Oh, da. We're doing this completely the wrong way. 5S. Stop. Stay standardized. Hold on. No. Queries and connections. Watch stream ratios. Edit. Power Query does everything. You don't need to mess with hokey stuff in Excel. Just relink Power Query to get back into it. Okay, watch stream ratios. Source. Instead of quarterly data, this should actually help me fill it in as I type it. Or maybe it won't. Escape. Alright, the one we want is what? Quarterly data for display. Now it's helping me fill it in. It's a bit like a programming environment sometimes. Let's just make sure it works. Remove extra columns. Crash. Quarter, platform, and ratio. Well, I guess it doesn't matter here, so let's do this. Dude. Platform and ratio. That shouldn't break the chart. Close and load. Okay. So now we have that, but we're not split up by quarter. Whoops. We have dots. Not what I'm looking for. Edit. Wrong. Drop that. Stop that. So, let's see here. So this is the part where we actually do need that old identifier back. Alright. So for the labels, let's add a custom column to bring that back, and we can get the grammar right as well. So, let's do... Alright. Let's do quarter and year. And let's see if we can concatenate it with a space. So, quarter, and space, ampersand. It's not showing Power Query. Keep forgetting I gotta turn it back on every time. Okay, yeah, this isn't handling it very well. We'll probably have to get out of this window first. Otherwise, I'm gonna keep staying frozen with the dots. Quarter and space and year. Still not showing it. Oh, it's coming up with an error too. Right, there's that. All right, relink. We'd have to convert it to text in order to do that because of the different data types. So go back up a step, change this back to text. Because then we can concatenate. The concatenation only works with text. So now that that works, we should be able to do this. Boom, Q1 2018. There it is. So we'd want this. All right, right. Okay, add quarter and year. For this one, this was set year back to text. It's all part of documentation as you go. So we add the quarter and the year, and so it's going to be here that it goes, and then we want this to be text. So let's set this specifically, declare it explicitly as text, and get rid of these, because these are no longer necessary. And the chart can do everything else. Alright, close and load. That should give me some more things to work with here. At least everything's the same, the right color. Alright. So now for the pivot chart, I want to split this out a bit. Alright. Get the special menus on here. Nope, nope, nope. This. Pivot chart analyze. Field list. Okay, so for quarter and year, sort of works, but that's not exactly what I'm looking for. We've got it backwards. It should actually be the other way around. Duh. Completely wrong. No, 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 no. But the solution to this is to go right back into Power Query and change how that field is generated. And I forgot to shut it off. Look at how stupid the chart looks. All right, let's relink Power Query because it is such a pain in the neck. All right, there's the terrible chart. Here's what we have to fix. Quarter and year should actually be year and quarter. So change the logic. So it should be year, ampersand, a space, and quarter. So it should actually be the other way around, like 2018 Q1, 2, 3, 4, and do it that way. Close. Shut off Power Query, and that, ladies and gentlemen, looks a lot better. Close queries and connections. Close the ribbon. Zoom in on this sucker. Take a good long look. So here, but it's not Streamlabs Stream Hatchet. Change the title to Streamlabs Quarterlies. Hours watched versus hours streamed. Ratio over time. There you go. So what we see here is a general pattern of decline with Twitch. And this is what I mean by the marketing of Twitch being a little too strong when I talk about this stuff on YouTube and elsewhere. This is what I mean. The marketing works really well. People want to be streamers. But the result of this is a talent inversion. There's not enough people that just want to watch. Everybody wants to be the star. And how come the YouTube line doesn't have any data points? We can fix that while we're at it. Oh, look at these little bitty data points. Format. Format that data series. Woo! See here? I think I can increase the point of something here. Yeah, we're looking at the dots. That's the width of the entire line. Yeah. No, we don't want that. I think for that 4.75 point, and this is for 4.75 points. How do we get the data? How do we get the data points specifically? That's the line. It's the markers we want to make bigger. Okay, yeah. Come on, give me some big dots. I want to match the other data series. So the markers are actually 0.75 point. Okay, what happened here? Oh, okay, the data points are a little messed up, but it looks similar. We want some big dots on there, darn it. This is supposed to be an easy-to-read graph. And I'm covering up the most important part of it. So let's actually bring it down so that it actually fits on screen. There you go. So you see where the competition is, right? Here's Facebook, which we'll have to see what happens. Facebook might actually decline going into Q4 because we know their hours watched has flatlined. We don't know what the hours streamed is. So flat hours watched plus more hours streamed means the ratio drops. So if more people have been trying to become Facebook streamers, then Facebook will take a hit. YouTube, we'll have to see what happens with YouTube as well. All this just because of one report here. So let's look at these numbers. So this is the watch stream ratio, hours streamed, hours watched versus hours streamed. So here's Twitch. Marketing's a little too strong. The ruse is real. People buy into the streamer thing. They all want to be streamers. Not enough people want to watch, though. We end up with a platform where people can't grow and things are heavily skewed towards the people at the top, like what we have right now. Have the concurrents even gone anywhere the whole time I've been streaming? This would not be the case on YouTube, even though it's the middle of the night. That's discoverability technology and algorithms working for you. That we know that Big Purple isn't as good at. Here's Mixer. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. 2019 Q2. Oh, the Ninja deal. Boom. Everyone wants to be a Mixer streamer. No chance whatsoever. The warning sign of what happens when you're the worst in the industry at this. And here's YouTube. Not really measurable in 2018. Starts becoming measurable in 2019 with the way its data is available. Steady progress. Green represents YouTube and Facebook combined together if you double stream on both platforms, a very synthetic measurement. And then Facebook is right here. The new Team Blue. So where's the growth? YouTube. Bada bing. Hey, why don't we shut off the Mario music here? Streambeat Synthwave, ladies and gentlemen. That's what that lovely music was. And let's talk about something really serious. So, here's the issue. Twitch is a little too good at marketing. And we know this because of the very strong culture which marketing among your user base can actually create. So, it's the same thing when you're in charge of a company. You're talking about managing the culture, building up a certain culture, getting people to go along with a certain vision that the leadership has. No different with what's going on here. The problem is, you got people, too many people want to be streamers, not enough people want to watch. So the question is, how do you bring in an audience that will watch the streamers without wanting to become a streamer themselves? That's what happens. Then you've got these rumors going around about YouTube that, oh, your algorithm's just going to bury you. You're going to have to do a DMCA. You're going to have to do all this, whatever they are. So, YouTube won't let you have any viewers. The computers run everything. People are deterred from streaming on YouTube. And so this goes up. The growth of the audience of streaming grows as more people discover the feature, but not as many people become streamers. And you end up with this. So here is the proper context for YouTube streaming, for those of you who don't follow what it is that I do here, from a commentary perspective. When you're first starting out, you want to be a YouTube streamer, period. You get to work on videos on the same account, so you can tinker around with a little of everything. Decide whether you even want to be anything close to a streamer in the first place. And if you do want to do a lot of streaming, you're not penalized because you don't have 3 concurrent viewers to get Twitch affiliate. You think about it, the way it works with the 30-day running average when you're trying to become an affiliate for the first time and unlock some more features of the platform like uploads. So, here's the thing though. You start out, you do a literal 2-viewer Andy stream. That goes into your 30-day average. Either you counter that, or it tanks your ability to become an affiliate. It's something bad. Meanwhile, on YouTube, those 2 viewers who keep you from getting Twitch affiliate because there wasn't a third one, contribute watch time, which progresses you towards YouTube partner. And because YouTube is so incredibly good at evergreen content, you can advance and grow your fan base through videos, just like all the commentators tell you to do, except it's on the same platform. You approach streaming from the much healthier perspective of it being an extension of what you do as opposed to what you do. And also, there's no emphasis on concurrence. It's not part of the culture, and not all streams on YouTube even have personalities involved. You can just do like cameras. There is one streamer, if you want to call him that, who's a police officer, I believe in Minnesota. He dash cam streams as he does his patrols to 10,000 concurrents. No production value, no fancy lights, no wondering what video games to play. He's a police officer with a dash cam, 10,000 concurrents. So, it's a whole wide world out there. And this is one of the key reasons why I keep an eye on these numbers, because people are frustrated. And some of the frustration, I think, comes from the way they've been conditioned by the platforms. Fire the music back up. So, very, very important thing to keep in mind. I think this is worth a YouTube video at some point. The problem may not be that you're a struggling streamer. The problem may be that you're a streamer to begin with, that that's the way you view yourself. And if you look at the differences between live content and content you can create from scratch, or hybrid streaming like what I do, which falls in the middle of those two, and gets some of the strengths and weaknesses of both, when you think about what it is you're doing with videos versus streams, calling yourself a streamer is limiting yourself. And why would you do that? Because Twitch got popular when YouTube screwed up with the adpocalypse and demonetization? Something very important to think about. Either ways, here's the ratios. For the Streamlabs quarterlies, and we eagerly await 2020 Q4's numbers, which, by the way, are a little late, given the holiday and how January has gone. Just have... wait. Before we close the file, let's do one last check of the Streamlabs blog. Streamlabs blog. Last updated 4 days ago, so it still has that children's charities thing, right? Yep, focus on children now. Sign up to schedule your charity stream. Yeah. I look forward to the numbers. I really want to see hours streamed for Q4 2020, and these numbers cannot come out soon enough. Hey, this is... Ooh, I guess Slink's not the only one that has hidden video game sounds in his tunes. Game over. Harris must have had fun with that one. Either way, this adds historical numbers. This adds historical numbers to what we keep an eye on with these things, to watch this ratio in particular. Again, hours watched versus hours streamed. There you go. We shall see what happens when the Q4 numbers come out, and I can't wait for those Q4 numbers to come out. This is in order, right? 3, 4, then 2019, 1, 2, 3, 4, then 2020, 1, 2, 3. Good to go. This will make its way onto Twitter as well. We'll do the screeny after the stream. All right, time to get back to getting through the backlog that I have with streams over on YouTube that have converted over and processed, but I just want to make sure they're going to be okay before I release them. Till next time, this is MultimediaJay signing off. Thanks for stopping by, and if you like the music, head on over to Harris Hellers' Streambeats project at streambeats.com. Have a good night, everybody.